that's the theme of the channel. Cut twice, measure once.
These carpet tiles are a great choice for the playroom. They really give it a much warmer feel, and the installation couldn't be simpler. You just start working your way from the middle of the space and go out towards the edges and cut at the edge once you get there. Unfortunately, my tripod had a mishap. Part of the base broke. It's still stable enough to finish doing this time lapse, but it looks like I gotta get a new one. Because you start in the middle instead of from the edge, the only thing you have to be careful of is when you're measuring the dimensions of the space you're going to fill. I was a little bit short on that second story with the purple material, so I had to change the orientation of the tiles a little bit, but you didn't even notice something was wrong until I told you, did you? This was my first time doing wallpaper, but it wasn't too bad. Watched some instructional videos on YouTube, and then got a relatively inexpensive installation kit from Amazon. Was able to make great work out of this.
Overall, wallpaper looks pretty good on day 2. There's just this one tiny little spot in a butt joint where I didn't get enough paste down, so I'm just gonna pull that back a little bit. Get some fresh paint or fresh paste in there. Use the seam roller on it. That should do it. So this is me cleaning up my son's handiwork. I decided to draw with pencil all over the wallpaper and on the walls of the play structure. And here's the last bit. Looks pretty good. I don't think you can really notice. You can sort of see it. Let's look over here. Again, maybe noticeable. Definitely when you get close, but not bad. That was about 11.5 minutes to fix that fun. It was around this time that I realized that I accidentally installed the bottom floor wallpaper on the second floor, but decided to just roll with it. The colors are all pretty complementary. The only thing that maybe looks a little bit funky on the second floor is the wavy wallpaper is combined with the wavy track that you'll see installed later in this video. I had a whole bunch of wallpaper left over from the installation. I thought I'd be able to save it, for somewhere else or to do any repair work down the road, but my son and my nephew decided that it would be a great idea to unroll it all and splay it all over his room and get it all crinkly and wrinkled, so that put the kibosh on that plan. You may be wondering, why did I install the carpet tiles before I put up the wallpaper? And that's a good question, and I don't have a good answer for you. I just had to be careful not to get any adhesive all over those carpet tiles. If you watched the last episode, you may have noticed me painting these posts here blue. My original thought was that I'd have those for supporting the railings that I'm working on right now and just have the blue to match the rest of the trim. But I toyed around with the design a little bit using an AI just to visualize it and decided that I liked these white plastic caps better, so I decided to go with that. So I'm actually going to bring you along for this cut because I'm going to be using a stop block so that when I cut these balusters, they all end up being the same length. And then I'm going to use that as a stop point. Dang, I can't even see that. I'm going to use a chalk marker. Oh well. Yeah. Nice and visible. Stop block in position. That feels good. That looks good. Let's do this.
I have to figure out where I put number 5. Ah, here's number 5. In theory, you should all now do the same way. After using that stop block for cutting, they are all pretty close to the same length. I'd say there's maybe a 30-second in it for some of these cuts. I'm fine with that.
You may be thinking to yourself, that horizontal cut looks pretty ugly. Past me agreed with you. Keep watching.
I came up with what I think is a better way to get these post sleeves on the posts. Instead of cutting the sleeve in half, I'm cutting down this vertical at the corner so that it can be stretched open to fit around this, and then this cut seam is just going to be hidden in the back here. Very glad this is plastic. If the sleeve was made out of aluminum, this would definitely not be happening. Fingers out. Oh, there we go. That looks a lot cleaner. So the only downside to this is I'm just gonna have to buy an extra sleeve. Not the end of the world. They're like 40 bucks. Fortunately, I also have to buy another railing because I cut this top railing a little bit too short, so I didn't have enough left over to be able to span this gap here. I'm good for the bottom railing. That's moot. I need to get another top railing. That, unfortunately, is like 130 bucks for another kit. Well, that's the theme of the channel. Cut twice, measure once.
The water is rising. It's coming. I'm reaching out. I'm reaching.
Very good. Then another railing here.
This is the part I was talking about a bit earlier, where the mistakenly placed wavy wallpaper will now be in the same spot as the wavy car track that I'm installing onto the wall right now. Maybe it looks intentional. I don't know. What's kind of ironic is after I got these pieces for the wall here, my son's school ended up installing a couple of these in their play areas as well. A little bit of a funny story for this mailbox. I ordered it around Christmas time or so, and when it first came in, I thought, doesn't look like what I was expecting. The pictures for it on the website was a rusted, sort of weathered look to it. Reached out to the company, said, that's fine. This is just the pre-weathered look for it. You just have to get it wet, put some acetic acid on it, vinegar, whatever, and it will start to rust. Said, okay, sat on that for a while, then came back to it a couple months later when I was ready for the installation and started spraying it outside with the water and vinegar mixture, and nothing was happening. Well, turns out my instinct was correct. They had accidentally sent the wrong one, so this brown painted mailbox is now actually on my front porch. Swapped out the old one that was there, and the company sent through a replacement, no problem. So yeah, if you think something might be wrong, trust your gut sometimes. This next shot you're going to see is one of my favorites throughout this entire build. So I'm doing a time lapse of the rusting process. So you get to see the rust form, but you're also going to see the shadow move from the sun position all throughout the day.
So I've got a stud marked here. I've got the laser line on the center of it. This thing, with some screws put into it, 5 screws, marked those locations into the wall. I'm going to drill into the wall now. I'm mounting this on the stud. And then this 2x4 is what a yellow handle is going to mount to right here. A little dust in my eye.
Realized I had it upside down, had to flip things over here.
Perfect. So that's gonna work.
I was lucky that I thought ahead for this ladder installation this time. I took a picture with some measurements before I put all the siding up, so I knew exactly where the studs were that I had to mount it on.
Well, there was meant to be a video of our time lapse of me installing these upper handlebars, but my phone died, so the time lapse cut off basically as I repositioned the camera, and then it stopped recording. So this table from a company called Sprout, it's actually kind of neat the way it's assembled. It doesn't use any tools. You've just got these pre-cut leg pieces and then braces. So there's a little bit of an orientation to these legs. So this side sort of looks normal cut. This side you can see there's a bit of a bevel there. So that's gonna end up facing out. And if I just rotate this a little bit, so this piece is now gonna fit in here. So that bevel we saw earlier lets this tuck up into it. And then what you do is you just flex the plywood and push it down and then over, and that holds the leg in place. It's pretty cool.
One thing that's really nice for this table is you can buy the legs as standalone items. So I accidentally ordered a 12-inch legs at first, which is way too short for my kids to fit under with a chair. So this can actually grow with your kids as they're getting older.
There we go. And it's now actually big enough for a chair to fit underneath it.
It's really starting to come together and look like something. I'm measuring out the final pieces of trim here. I think this is my last trip to Lowe's for stuff I forgot to get. And I had to feed everything in through the windows to get it to fit.
Hey there, so this is the final bit of construction for this Playroom project. Just getting these last few pieces of trim up on the baseboards, the crown molding, the corner molding. There will be odds and ends of things I do from here, putting up some new decorations, but it's really all pretty basic stuff at this point. So I'm going to call this project done after this. So let's just watch this one.
Ow! That is one thing I'm not going to miss.
Oh, I keep smacking my back on the tiny doorway.
It's not made for adults, it's made for 4-foot tall humans.
AKA my children.
Oh, that hurt. Thank you for sticking with me on this journey for the Playroom build. And if you've gotten this far in the video, I hope you could hit that subscribe button, drop a comment below, like the video. It really means a lot to the channel, and looking forward to see you in the next one.
Pretty cool, huh?